Hello and welcome back to the Offside Trap YouTube channel, and today I thought we could do something different in this one-on-one. Normally Matty and we talk about the big teams, the big leagues, so I thought let's be a bit different, let's cover everything. So today we're going to be talking about Norwich City, and I'm planning on doing a few clubs like this, teams that I'm excited to see next season, teams where I'm excited to see what happens in the transfer market as well. The reason why I've chosen Norwich this time is because I'm really excited to see what they do in the Premier League next season. As you may be aware, they've just been promoted to the Premier League. They are currently battling it out with Watford to finish top of the Championship. But the reason why I'm excited is because Daniel Farke and Stuart Webber have worked wonders at Norwich for the past few seasons. I know that he didn't do too well in the Premier League when they came up, but they beat City. They stuck to their game plan of passing football, attacking football, which I have a lot of admiration for. So in the Championship this season, they are doing really well. They've done really well. They're playing attacking football, but they've changed. They've become more of a solid team. They're leaking less goals. They're not scoring as many, but they are winning games and winning ugly when it needs to be. They've still managed to have Timo Pukki banging goals like he did last season and the season before. He's got 25 goals with 4 assists, which I think in the Championship, to get promoted, you need one goal scorer, one striker who is going to guarantee you 20-25 goals, and that's what he's done. I think keeping the likes of Pukki, Buendia, Cantwell, Max Aarons, that gives you a good foundation to work on, and then improving with loan signings in the Championship, because I didn't want to spend money and not get promoted, because keeping Buendia, keeping Pukki isn't going to be cheap, and it's a big risk because their value would drop if they didn't get promoted. Buendia's got 14 goals, 16 assists. For an attacking midfielder, that's amazing, especially in the Championship. I think having Buendia and keeping him when he was linked with the likes of Arsenal in the summer and in January speaks wonders about what they're doing at Norwich. So the reason why I think they've become more of a solid team is to do with the likes of Ben Gibson coming in from Burnley on loan, a solid sense about Premier League experience in the Championship, just to go along with Zimmerman, Grant Hanley, because obviously they lost Tim Closer on loan, so they had to replace him, and Ben Godfrey joining Everton in the summer, so that was the replacement for him. I think Ollie Skip coming in on loan from Spurs as a defensive midfielder has given them a different aspect to their game. He's just a cover just before the defence, which they've lacked since Tete's kind of lost his legs. I think if they can keep hold of Skip for another season, they won't need to worry about replacing him. But I don't think Spurs will allow him to go back out on loan. I think he'll be in the first team, depending on what manager they get. Obviously, there might be different situations that he might go back on loan to Norwich for development purposes, playing in the Premier League regularly. He's pretty much played every minute for Norwich this season. If they were to lose a player, I think personally it will be between Buendia and Max Aarons to who leaves. I don't think they will lose both. I think it will be one or the other, but I'm more leaning towards that Max Aarons will leave, as he was linked to Barcelona in January, and he has been linked with Everton as well. I think Max Aarons as a right back is probably easier to replace than an attacking midfielder like Buendia. I think Buendia is a very different player to most. He has that aggression about him. He has been sent off a few times this season for Norwich, so he probably needs to work on his aggression and his stupid fouls he makes. But he is very good with his feet. He is quite small, so he's very nippy. But I think keeping him will be a huge relief for Norwich fans. They managed to do that. But Max Aarons leaving wouldn't be impossible to replace because they have Sam Byram. I know he struggles with injuries, but if they could replace Max Aarons with a right back that can do a similar job, or look to their youth academy. I know they've got Ballymumba coming through the ranks as well, so they have potential to replace him. They do have players they can offload. They still have like Tom Tribal out on loan, who is on a large fee, so they have room to manoeuvre if they can balance the books out. But going back to Stuart Webber, he's changed the way Norwich is run, managed to get him in profit. The youth players come through, they sell them on for profit. And that is the key thing, profit. Because Norwich were in a bad place where they had Stephen Naismith, I don't even remember, like Gary Hooper, where they tried to stay in the Premier League and they just got these big names in the Premier League to try and keep them up, and it didn't work out, and they were still on the books for a long time. So that financially crippled them. So Stuart Webber came in and he changed that. He got rid of the big names. Unfortunately, they had to sell James Maddison to balance the books out. If you listen to any of Stuart Webber's interviews that he does, he speaks very well. He knows his stuff, and he said that he wants to leave Norwich in a better place than when he arrived. And so far he's done that. He's got a great relationship with Farker. He's changed the training ground so it looks amazing. It's not the old falling apart ground that it used to be. He's brought a buzz around and a togetherness with the Norwich community as well, which, watching and reading a lot of articles about Norwich, is great to see. And they do have a really strong emphasis on using their youth academy, which is great to see. But next season, where do I reckon they'll finish? I reckon it'll be a tough one. I don't think they'll get relegated. It's going to be tough because each team will improve, as they always do. But I think they might just miss out. I think they'll mid to low league in the table. Don't think they'll get relegated, so that's a bold statement from me. But I'm really excited to see them. They're attacking football. I'm interested to see how Farker adapts to the way they got relegated last season, whether or not he will play a bit more defensively in games rather than going gun-ho. But it'll be interesting to see what you guys think, whether you think Norwich will stay up, whether or not you're excited to see them again, or do you think they're a yo-yo club? I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this from my girlfriend's side of the family, because my girlfriend's dad supports Ipswich, so I'm not going to be in the good books there. But it'll be interesting to see. If you want me to do any other clubs, let me know in the comments. Obviously, give this a like and subscribe if you can. It means a huge amount to us. I know Matty's got a few ideas for his one-on-ones, but if you want Matty and I to do a YouTube channel or an episode where we come together, or do you like these one-on-ones where we take it in turns to upload? Obviously, go check our podcast out. We've got another episode coming out on Saturday on topics or transfers that we'd like to see. The Tottenham situation on manager-wise, because obviously Nagelsmann today has agreed to join Bayern Munich. If you want us to talk about that, let us know. So yes, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out our Spotify on our podcast. And I've been Luke, so peace.